Today, I'm going to show you guys how we can get to 1000x and how do you actually strategize and do it. So let's get it. What's going on, people? My name is Aaron and welcome to UX Crypto. And yes, you heard it. We're going to try and show you the road to 1000x and how do you actually manage to do these type of things, right? You hear this stuff all the time, but what's the risk level that you need to take on to do it? So I'm going to show you that. If you like that, and obviously press that subscribe button. And also we're going to look at the market as well today, like what's going on in Bitcoin. How can we take advantage of that? Are you taking advantage of that? Let me know in the comments down below. But yeah, let's get into it today and just show you a little bit more about it. So if you don't know who I am and all that fun stuff, I've been in crypto since 2016, and this is some of the gains I have achieved inside of my time inside of crypto. And yes, I was buying Bitcoin below $1,000. So hats off to any of you guys who have been around in crypto since then as well. Great to have you on board. So yes, and some of the gains I've currently had are around here. So obviously, if you want to be trying to get the gains that I've been getting and track me and all this fun stuff, then obviously the link is in the description for the Patreon, and you can check that out. But yeah, I actually have a cheat sheet which I'll share all of you guys later a little bit more about that. But right now, it's all about what's going on in the market. So let's do it. So currently, okay, we're looking at, we break an all-time high. What happens after you break all-time high with Bitcoin? And you might say, why are we looking at Bitcoin if we want 1000x? Well, we do need to look at Bitcoin because Bitcoin is the boss and all this other money flows in from there. That is what happens. It's not necessarily going from dollars to one little small altcoin. It's going from Bitcoin to altcoin. So that is where you need to look at Bitcoin and pay attention to it. So what we are looking at is dumps, right? So when we broke all-time high in 2011, right? 2012, then we saw that, okay, we had a little dump after, right? That little red dot right there. And it was a small little dump. But then, obviously back then that was like a long time ago. So we want to look at recent data a little bit. So what happened when we broke all-time high? This is all after halving, by the way. Usually, obviously, we've broken it before halving, so maybe this could be an outlier. But at one point, once we broke all-time high, we got a dump of like 33%, and that was in 2017, 2016, I think, actually. So yeah, that's quite interesting, right? And then after that, the last cycle that we went through, right, we obviously went and broke all-time high, and then we had a dump again, right? And then we can actually see that what's this dump? 16%, right? 16% dump after we broke all-time high. So it's to be expected that we get a dump, right? So if we're looking at right now, then yes, we've had a dump already, and obviously we're still making a lower high, so it's nothing to worry about at this current moment, but for 16%. So everything is on track, and I wouldn't really worry. And yes, as they say, when there's blood in the street, as you can see right here, then be greedy. So it's up to you guys what you are doing. I am going to be buying some cryptos very, very soon. So if you actually want to know what I'm buying and when I buy it, then yes, Patreon, come and join over there, and I'll reveal all to you. And yeah, so just have a little look at this observation. So in terms of alts, like we're seeing some dumps around 26%. We're seeing stuff like 14%, on average around 15%. You're seeing 20% and all that, like of dips, right? So you're getting discounts right now. Look at it as discounts. I know red is looking like, oh my god, this is terrible, but red is actually when you want to buy. This is not financial advice, of course, but for example, if you see things like this going up, I'm not sure what core is, by the way, maybe you guys do, but that you're buying high, right? So if you're buying at 326% up in a day, then you're buying high, right? And somebody's going to sell that, and they're going to sell onto you. So the whole game is obviously buy low, sell high. Don't be falling for jumping onto green. Obviously, you want to see momentum, and you want to be seeing that, right? You don't want to see just some random pump and dump. But then obviously the game is played by buying low. So just keep that in mind, okay? But really, okay, so what we want to be looking at here is how did the market react when we're going back here? So just looking at price data from the last cycle, right? When we broke that all-time high and then obviously took that dip or whatever, what was going on in the last cycle, right? So let's have a little look, okay? So obviously we're looking at some top coins just to show you a little bit more about how crypto moves, okay? So obviously you're thinking, wow, I haven't got to 1000x yet. Don't worry, we'll get there because this is lining that up to show you how things move, Okay, and then yeah, I'll get into that. So Cardano, just as a little example. Okay, so back in 2020, what was going on? So if we quickly go back, and then the actual date that we're looking for is November 2020. Okay, and the reason is that is when Bitcoin broke its all-time high. So if we can see that right here, so in November 2020, okay, then Cardano was at 9 cents. Okay, and you might say to yourself, if we go back here, the Cardano was at 3 cents, right? So you 3x'd already. Some people will be like, oh, Cardano's 3x, it's too late. That's what they will be saying, right? But yeah, if we were just to forward in time, right, then actually, right, we went from, you could say, 9 cents to $3. Okay, and obviously if you got that 3 cents, you made 100x, and obviously I bought pretty close to them back then, so I did pretty good out of that. But yeah, you still would have made a 30x from that November point, right? So just to quickly go back and show you that point, we are talking about November 2020. You can see that here. That's when they broke all-time high last time. So that's the data. Okay, data doesn't lie, right? But people do. Okay, so definitely remember that. So other things like, so we want to look at was November 2020, right? So if we're going to go back, let's see where we was. That's 2019. Here you go, November 2020. So this is Chainlink. This is obviously a number 16 coin. Back then, Chainlink wasn't a number 16 coin. It was a lot lower. Okay, so I think it was, I can't even remember, right? But it was like top 300, something like that. So obviously in the list, we're going way further down, right? And obviously some people did very well out of this. But for example, if you was to buy in November of last year, the price was around $12, and then eventually it got to a point of around $50. Okay, so that's like a 5x or around about that. Is that so yeah, you could have done pretty good well just from that. And these are the bigger boy coins, right? But you know, Polkadot, another example of this is if you was to go back to November, it's October, but yeah, it was around $3-4 back then, and then afterwards, the end of the run, we went up to $50. So you could have around 10x your money back then. And this is just the big boys, right? So you know, 1000x obviously not on the big boys. So where are we looking at? Okay, we are looking at absolute degens. Okay, so that brings me to this type of stuff right here. Okay, so we're going in way past the thousands. If you're, this is CoinGecko, by the way, the website. So you can always go to CoinGecko, and then what you need to actually do is search way past the top 100. Okay, we need to go into degen area. Okay, and that is like the over the 1000 area. I'm not saying any of these coins are good. This is where you're going to see a lot of scams. You're going to see a lot of rug pulls, but you might just be able to find that gold. And that is what I am doing on my Patreon, and all the people who are in the Discord. We're all looking. Okay, we're all gem hunters inside of this bad boy, all right, in this world. And that is what we're doing. All right, and that is what the cheat sheet is, trying to find them gems. But yeah, just to show you about risk management real quick. So for example, like, you know, high risk, high reward. Obviously, if you're going to invest into Bitcoin, you know, you expect lower returns on that. If you're going into the higher ones, like I showed you, for example, Cardano and all these other ones, then you're not going to get as bigger gains, right? You might still be able to do some pretty good gains out of this. But, you know, we want these 1000x's, then you are going into absolute degen territory, which is, for example, over the 1000 ranking of coins. So, you know, this before you could have done 400 to 1000. This is before, and maybe found under 5 million market cap coins. But now, you know, we're talking past that because obviously the market's gone up a bit. And the higher risk, though, right? Way higher risk. So obviously you want to risk less money if you're going to try and get 1000x, because you don't actually need to risk a whole bunch of money, because obviously the risk is high, but you can put less in. So not financial advice, of course, but that is a way to look at this. But yeah, so let's go back to this. So when we're looking at these coins, the reason we're looking at the over thousands and all this stuff is we're looking at market caps like around 5 million or less even. And this is where you can find some pretty cool, interesting stuff, right? But I've picked a couple out for you that I've actually reviewed on the channel before. One of them is this bad boy right here, and that is Wham. Okay, so not to say that this is what you want to be looking at, but these also have interesting plays inside of them. So this is currently at a ranking of 1,794, and we're currently a market cap of 5,300,000. And yes, you do see an uptrend, right? You actually do see an uptrend. I mean, that's good to see, right? But if you actually look at the historical chart for this, obviously we went through a bull run, you could say, before it got released in the bull run. So we didn't really have a scenario of coming out in the bull run. it kind of came out like near the top of it, right? So then we don't really have that scenario. So and then yeah, obviously as of recent times, nothing happened for a long time, and then we're starting to see some growth. So that's cool, right? Chart looks interesting. In terms of where you can get this, it's on not the greatest exchanges, right? But obviously Pancake Swap and all that. But yeah, what is it though, right? So for example, WAM is actually a play to earn skill-based platform, and it also incorporates AI. So from what I understand of WAM, I actually have a video on this on my channel. So if you actually go on my channel and you can search on your channel, my channel, and you can find the WAM review I've done on this for a deep dive. It will go into everything for it. But just an overview is you can create AI games and people can play them, and you're creating it with AI. So a pretty good and unique user case, right? And yeah, has potential in it actually. So yes, what you are looking for on these are you're trying to diversify your risk a little bit. So you have to review them and look into them, and that's what I do on my channel. So you know, if you want to be part of the Patreon, that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for teams, I'm looking for partners, all that fun stuff. I'll go into that in a minute to why you want to care about that. But yeah, that is literally what you are looking at in these type of projects, right? So the next one that I'm going to show you is RightStream. Okay, RightStream currently ranked at 1,746 and ranking, currently a market cap of 5,770,000. And yes, we did have a massive pump at some point, and then now we're starting to drop. Okay, so at one point we got to 12 million market cap, pretty sure, and then now we're at 5. But you know, some really quite interesting stuff. So, for example, we are on MEXC as an exchange, which is cool. Gate.io, a couple of exchanges, but obviously could do with a lot more. But still, a pretty good bargain right now, if you ask me. If you're into RightStream, if you don't know anything about RightStream, just to give you a little bit of overview. Obviously, I have a full review on my channel for RightStream. You can Google it, go on my channel, search for RightStream, and you'll find it. Or just drop a comment down below and I can drop the link to it. But yes, this is a bit like Hello Labs, if you've heard of Hello Labs. And it's basically like a video platform, like a streaming platform, and they make shows, TV shows, and all that. So it's the entertainment area of crypto on that narrative. So yeah, pretty cool. The team is quite strong on this one as well. So that you should be definitely looking at that stuff. Like, do they have good partners, good teams, all that type of stuff. So you know, that is another little degen play for you, which could do a potential 1000x, right? The other ones you should look at is trophies, okay? So wins, obviously all of these are high risk, just bear that in mind, but we are seeing obviously an uptake since that has been out. It's not been out that long. And yes, in terms of exchanges, what we're not on a lot of known exchanges, so Bitmart, Uniswap, so not a lot of exchanges. But what is Wins? So Wins is the trophy app, and you can play games, stack crypto, and cash out. So you know, basically, again, gaming narrative, pretty cool, right? Obviously, gaming narrative was hot. I think gaming narrative is going to come back as well with a vengeance. And one thing I really do like about Wins, right, is it has a working product as well as you can actually cash out. Okay, so when I say cash out, you can cash out into gift cards and things like that. And obviously, being able to cash out into gift cards, it's an off ramp. So if you actually have crypto, you could go into buy Wins and actually just get gift cards that way, right? So you know, think about what you could do with that information. Okay, but very cool as a user case as well as being able to play games. So yeah, that is just a couple for you to think about, right? But obviously, when I'm showing you this stuff, right, it's risky. So you need to obviously weigh this into your equation, risk versus reward. How far do you want to go with some of these? Don't lose your ass, okay? So my thing is, how can you be able to filter that out and filter your risk versus reward? And it's by reviewing them. And that's all I do on my channel, by reviewing all these coins. So you want to see if they have patents. If you're applying for a patent, right, you're very serious. You're putting a lot of money in to be able to stay around for a long time, and obviously you have a unique idea. So patents, I would say, is something you should think about. I wouldn't exactly score it in my sheet with it, but it's something important. If you see it, it's a pretty good sign. Also, team of advisors. Why are you looking at team of advisors? Well, obviously we need to see if they have experience. This is the same as if you was doing a job interview. You want to be able to see, do they have a good team? Can they pull this off? Is this person I was like looking to hire or whatever have experience? Same thing goes with crypto. Do they have experience of doing this stuff? Or even if they don't have the exact same experience, some relevant experience to be able to pull this off. Advisors as well. Obviously, advisors, if they have big players inside of this, big investors, then you already know that you know people are looking at seeing some value in that. Also, partnerships. Have they got any big partners? Also, you want to be looking out for, there's some people try and pull the wool over your eyes saying that they're partnering with certain things, but you actually want to be able to fact check some of this stuff. So check that out. Also, the idea, is it a big idea? Is this idea going to get us, some potential gains in it? Or is it just a rinse and repeat idea, what's been done already? Obviously, not to say that they can't be rinse and repeat ideas, but they just need to have another aspect where they're doing something better. So yeah, the website is the show of everything. Okay, so people are reviewing the websites and basing the decisions off the website. This is a digital world, Web3, right? So websites are important. You need to check them out. Are they working? The things actually work. So that's what you're looking at. And that brings us to the product. So the product, for sure, you need to be paying attention to. Is the product out? Can you actually use it? Is it something that is going to be game changing, right? There's on the website, for example, to tell you, oh, this and that. But if their product's not out, then what are you basing off that off, right? There's going to be a lot of dumb money might even look at products, but the reality is dumb money doesn't stay. Okay, so with smart money, we're trying to stay and get into projects which stay. So we want continuous growth. We don't want random pump and dumps. There's a lot of pump and dumps in crypto, and these type of things, if not having a product, could be a little sign of that, right? Of where this could be a pump and dump, because it's just based off hype, right? And yeah, socials, for example, we are reviewing this. For example, do they have a big social following? And if they do, is that engagement, like all their posts getting engagement? If they're not, then they might have paid for their followers, and there's a bit of red flags in that. And the coin utility, why do you want to care about that? Well, you want to care because this coin utility is the reason it exists, okay? Can you do anything with this coin? Are they going to burn supply? Are they actually doing stuff like mining with the coin? Like, there's a whole bunch of stuff you want to consider when it comes to that. But is it just, it's not just a random Web2 company which has a coin for no reason, right? Because then the coin is not going to go up. So all things that you should consider. And yeah, but if obviously you want to be able to be, filter all this stuff out, then yes, I am your guy for that. Okay, I've got you covered. So you can come along and see the cheat sheet. Here's a little preview of the cheat sheet. So I actually have over 182 coins now and counting. I review coins every day, and I review them with that strategy, and I score them. So obviously you can't see that at this moment. If I was to scroll right, you'll get this, and this is the cheat sheet that all you guys can have access to if you join the Patreon, of course. And yeah, we're literally looking at degens, we're looking at mid caps, we're looking at high caps. Like, we're just trying to see if these projects still have value in them, right? And that is how you could potentially get 1,000x's, 100x's, 50x's, all this other stuff, right? Finding the value when other people don't find it. So for example, if we go back to this, this is when people have found it. So the green is when people have found it. We are looking at when people have not found it, and the whole game is literally buy low, sell high, right? So that is the game in a nutshell. Is this buy low, sell high? Okay. And yes, if you want to be able to get the Patreon, then come and join us, and you can get the Moneyball cheat sheet, which I just showed you. And also, what is the power of this actually, right? So why would I review all these coins? The coins, the reason is you can get a top 20 out of this, and you can get a top AI to the top 10 in AI, the top 10 in gaming. And this is how you and also I have built a portfolio out to be able to find undervalued projects with this strategy. This strategy actually comes from a baseball team and as a movie called Moneyball, and this is what this actually comes from. So yeah, a lot of value. I hope that you will join, and I hope to see you there. And if you do, then yeah, click that link, you will see this, and just press join, and you can join for the month. If you can just check it out, and if you want to cancel, that's up to you, no worries. And yeah, at least you get to see what I'm looking at, and you get to see these gems, right? And yes, we're going to see each other at the top together. So yes, link is in the description right there. Press the like if you liked this video, and yeah, drop comments, let me know what you think is going on. If you've got any good projects you think are good that we should review on this channel. We're a community at the end of the day, and we're just trying to get to the top together. Press that subscribe button if you're new, and hopefully I've given you some value. And yeah, but if I don't see you guys, I will see you at the top. Peace.